filming me.
What is your problem? Do not touch me.
The city.
I don't care.
I am reporting you.
Please report me.
What kind of form of martial arts is this? Because that was an assault. He caught some air, and so did she. From the rear to the ear. Call it a flyby poot. And that's also called the pink eye flyby. Not the hero we needed, but the hero we deserve.
Would you guys prefer free college or free abortions?
Abortion.
Free abortions?
Yeah.
In what age do you think most trans kids determine that they're trans?
Violet told us when she was 1.5. She's been telling us since she could speak. I hear a lot of, we're not going back. What are we not going back to?
The kitchen.
What is your biggest fear in 2025?
People not understanding the difference between lies and truth.
What is a woman?
Does it really matter?
So could I be a woman if I wanted to be?
Yes.
Okay, quickly, so I misunderstand. Are we saying that 2 + 2, if you say it's 4, that's racist? I mean, that sounds like we may be mischaracterizing it. What, if you can quickly sum it up?
No, that's not mischaracterizing it at all. Math is basically racist under this ideology because it says there is no such thing as an objective reality. So 4 might not be the right number. 2 + 2 might actually equal 5.
Is it mentality or mentally ill? My cousin at 1.5 told me he was a cat. Thank God we don't have women running this country, or we would have been cooked.
Meanwhile, and an honor Mom and I being the first mother-daughter crew at Delta.
A Delta Airlines plane flipped and caught fire while landing at Toronto's airport this afternoon.
How the heck do you land the plane upside down? I couldn't even do that if I tried.
No, we don't play basketball in here. Because it's a gymnasium and you can ruin the floor.
Boy, I'm about to roast you.
I don't like that we give our military guys 10% discounts.
I don't care. As someone who donated a little more than 10% to your ability to spout nonsense on the internet, if someone offers me a 10% discount on something, especially a large bill, I'm gonna take it, and you can kick rocks.
Her username is Hopeful Lovebird, and honestly, 10% is not enough. Our military deserves a 50% discount because we don't do enough for our vets. And this doesn't affect her at all. What a strange thing to complain about.
Howdy, Chuck.
No one calls me Chuck. No. That's...
I'm doing it.
Okay, bad start.
I don't want this anymore. Okay.
Oh, okay. Got a lot of attitude, that's for sure. Were you in Ozark, or am I just losing my mind?
You're losing your mind.
Are you sure?
Out of your damn mind, yeah.
Do you know Marty Bird?
Oh my God.
Blink if you know Marty Bird.
So you're a big freedom of speech guy, right?
Yes.
All right. So I want to know your opinion on BDS laws. Are you familiar with those?
I think some of them go too far. Are your First Amendment rights taken from you?
I believe they are.
Well, then someone should sue and bring it up to the Supreme Court if that's the case.
Okay. Cool. Good to hear it. Terrible meeting you.
Again, I don't want to overly generalize, but just like the nastiness of the left is so unbelievable. Like here we are, we're having a nice discussion.
When I got here, someone said,
I'm sorry.
One person in your party actually said, let's escort her to the mental hospital. So I think it can go both ways with disrespectfulness.
I mean, did you see it?
Were they flirting with each other? That definitely was Marty Bird's daughter.
He needs some milk.
I love sleeping over with a man because you know you're gonna get a show of him twitching the entire night. Like the whole body just jolts over and over and over again. Like, can we explain why this happens? Why is it every single man? Like before you go to bed, it's like, whoa, what is it?
You do OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is paying $12 a month? You're tripping. Is it really worth $12?
If you don't have the money for it, it's like fine.
No, it's just like, so these are your titties.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just got $12 worth of titties for free. This is $12. Are you serious? You're charging niggas $12.
But you don't have the money to pay for it.
$12. You're charging niggas a Domino's pizza, large.
They get
Bro.
the Domino's pizza at the end of the day.
we should start normalizing to treat OF girls like this. She says, "You're broke," but proceeds to sell her smelly fish hole for $12 a month. OF is not a job. It's prostitution, and it should be illegal.
I think is the most like disgusting, demonic thing in the world. I won't even touch someone that watches. I'll not date someone that watches. It is so bad for women. It's so bad for men. It should like literally be banned. Like I'm so anti all that.
So I'm the girl that's out with 1,057 men, and there's 1,057 guys which are potential dads. I just wonder which one it is. I'm just hoping it's not Bebo.
That child has collected more DNA than the FBI. That child has to be some sort of hybrid. And if this is true, this is sad. I honestly feel bad for the child.
And who did they make Victoria's Secret thongs for? Not this meow meow. I don't know about y'all, but I got an Audi and this shit is not staying in there. Just got one lip hanging out playing peekaboo. And then it's even worse when they're both hanging out. Because when they're both hanging out, they just get tied up in a knot. Tongue-tied, more like lip-tied.
What is the best guy kind of usually look like? Does he usually have a mustache?
Black guy.
Black guy?
Big
okay,
cock.
yeah.
Speaking of big black cocks.
Big black Australorp cockerel. One of 500 birds that are being judged today at the show.
I am fascinated by hoes. I'll say it. I'm absolutely fascinated by the way the mind works, the way the hive works. I'm fascinated.
Next
I cover it on my
documentary.
show. You
And
are
it is
correct.
trending.
It is
I'm
trending.
saying, and that's why
when
it's such a
Emma
hot
gets
topic
up
to
and does a
speak about.
video and says something like it's chic to be divorced before you're 30, it is absolutely fascinating to see how someone's mind can be so warped. You know, in the same way that I think it's fascinating when anybody does anything crazy or says anything crazy, and I cover it on my podcast. You know, I am not knocking it at all. I just tell people what the facts are. You can choose this lifestyle, and here is where you are 99.9% likely to lead in your life. You are probably not destined for marriage. You're probably not destined for a stable relationship. Men are going to not want this long term. You can say it 1,000 times. You can have 1,000 cultural examples, and women's still got to go out there and be hoes, you know, because they're about their money and about a Cardi B song or whatever it is. So yes, I think it is fascinating, and it is why this is why I talk about it on my podcast, and why I'm very interested to talk to you guys. And I hope you guys feel that I've been respectful in listening to, you know, your lifestyles, even though it's so different.
My gosh, she insulted them in such a complimentary manner. It's crazy. And legends have said that these cream cock-sucking bumblecluts is still trying to comprehend this interaction till this day. You know, if Candace Owens runs for president, she will get my vote, because it's starting to get out of hand.
Oh, you're not just walking, you're working?
Like, okay, I have 3,000 bodies. Like, I kid you not. I have, like, look at me in my eyes when I was speaking to you, bro. I have, like, 3,000 bodies, bro. And it's just in and out. Like, it's just work. It's just work. But, like, in my personal life, for me to be like, yeah, I'm gonna go sleep with a dude, like, I probably have to like him, or, like, we have to be good friends.
Now, I am Asian, and I'm an absolute genius, and I have never made a mathematical error in my life. Now, if you do the math, that's like one body daily for 8.2 years. And women wonder why they are highly more infected with STDs, herpes, and crustaceans.
What'd you expect? I'm about tired of you. I wish I would have stayed at work. Don't embarrass me on my mukbang. I love you. I love you, baby.
Would you rather be the king's mistress or a peasant's wife? Go ahead.
King's mistress. King's mistress.
Yeah, king's mistress.
Same. King's mistress.
King's mistress.
King's mistress.
Not even ashamed to admit it. And they all want a faithful man. That is crazy. And yet girls be like, you never find a girl like me. And yet they're all the same.
The reason that I'm here and she's accusing me of all the cheating and stuff, it's just that, like, the statistics in United States, do you know that there's 16 women to every man? So it kind of makes me a victim by default. And And then, you know, I just kind of like to keep my options open because I was always told to keep my options open.
So you're saying you're a victim of the stats?
I'm a victim of stats.
But she said there are 30. So according to you, you're beating the odds.
Well, somebody else is out there slipping, so it adds more onto my plate. And that's why I say it makes me a victim.
Oh, just got married, right?
Just today, like 4 hours ago.
Okay, and do you guys know each other's body count?
Yes. No. Okay. Oh, body count, no. That's irrelevant.
Is it?
Yes, past is the past. Like, this is my future.
Are you willing to admit it right now?
9.
9?
Ruined this man's marriage in less than a minute. But bro is an absolute idiot for not checking these things. It's like getting into a car and driving with no wheels. And I guarantee you, her body count is not even 9. Multiplied by 3. Now, a lot of people ask me, what is a high body count for a girl? Now, let me just say this. A cat has 9 lives. And after 10, the kitty is dead.
If he told you to change clothes because he ain't like what you was wearing, what would you tell him?
Absolutely.
So why do you think so many women have a problem with men telling them how to dress?
Trust me, I used to be one of them.
Why did you have that problem?
Because it's now a pride thing. Women think that women's rights is just to be able to do and show whatever you want. But really, it's a strength and an empowerment to be able to dress how your husband tells you to and modestly under the Lord.
God damn, she good.
A lot of women are going to hate that, but it's the truth, honey. It's the truth. I had to face it.
What a woman wears is not only a representation of herself, but it is also a representation of her man and their relationship.
If she's dressing in comfortable clothing and hanging out with you for most of the month, but then she gets dressed up, puts on her lipstick and makeup and her push-up bra, does her hair for hours. Hey, I'm just going out with the girls. We're going to do dinner sort of thing. And you start to pay attention to her ovulatory patterns and she's doing it when she's ovulating. That's a pretty good sign that she's not into you and things are about to go down.
Now, when you tell a girl not to wear an outfit because it's too skanky, and then she calls you insecure, now Jordan Peterson gives us the perfect explanation why. Take a look.
When a woman doesn't want to change, she will find a man who accepts her flaws so that she doesn't have to grow or mature. That's why these insecure women will accuse a strong man of being controlling or demanding, but in reality, he just has standards and expectations. He's not going to tolerate disrespect or childish behavior. He's going to require her to step up and grow, and eventually she'll leave, calling him toxic or overly demanding, simply because he held her accountable for her actions. Fellas, don't ever think you're too much for a woman. Sometimes you're just too strong for someone who isn't ready. Never lower your standards to make someone stay. A real woman will appreciate and rise to meet them. Weak women fear a man with vision, but strong women respect it. Know your value, fellas. You don't need to dim your ambition or strength to please anyone. Keep leading, keep standing firm, and let the right woman find you, the one who's worthy of your greatness.
You've been cutting hair for 18 years. You see a lot of cheating?
Yes, I've had people tell me they're more loyal to me as a hairdresser than they are their husbands. So I had a client come in and she was getting her hair blown out and I asked her where she was going and she said, out to dinner at such and such restaurant, which is at the other end of the shopping center I work in. So I happened to be going there also with a couple of my friends and I see her out and I introduced myself to the person she was with when I went over to say hello. They were kissing, hand on the thigh, and didn't think anything of it. Thought it was just her husband because I knew she was married. I thought they were just having a little date night. She comes in a couple weeks later, another blowout. This time a different gentleman comes in and hands her her car keys. And I looked at her, I was like, oh, who was that? She said, that's my husband. So she was I walked in on a date and it was not her husband. She was on the date list.
Do you think most of the women whose hair you cut cheat on their husbands, or is it just like a select few?
I think there's a select few and a select type. I don't want to stereotype, but there is a definitely a type.
So what is the type? Woman. Got it. Thanks.
A lot of women are actually very, very nasty on the inside. They're not a good person. They don't take care of themselves. They're very, very nasty on the inside on the way they treat their significant other. A woman to a man is literally their trophy. A man's biggest flex is a woman that he can bring around his family and his friends and, you know, take her up to the top with him if he has big as goals. But a lot of women are very controlling on the inside. They're very manipulating. They make themselves easily accessible to men on social media, in the bars, in the clubs, and they just portray themselves to have such a pretty smile and they're just a pretty girl on the outside, but deep, deep, deep on the inside, a lot of women can be nasty. So fellas, don't always go for the looks. A lot of women portray themselves to be pretty on the outside, but look what's on the inside. Look deep, deep, deep within women, because it'll be a disaster long term if you just go for someone for the look.
I would rather take a broke girl from a fucking village in the middle of nowhere that is a virgin, that doesn't have any money, than be with a chick that makes $1 million a month. That's a star. That's how important to men a woman's virtue is. You can't put a price on it.
Because when a woman starts making money, she is going to think she's better than a man. I have money, I'm a strong, independent woman, and I don't need a man. Now here is the consequences of feminism.
Love to be a stay-at-home mom. I would love to be a homemaker and a wife. I would love to be able to live on a homestead and go milk my cow and take the eggs out of the chicken coop and have one baby in the belly and on my hip and another toddler coming behind me. That's like my dream, but I can't do that because the way the economy is set up is I'm forced to work. I'm forced to get an education, a higher education, a college degree in order to make enough money that I can be financially independent and afford my own home or my own rent or my own gas or my own groceries, my own insurance. And it's extremely difficult to do that. And it's very isolating as a woman when you have to do all of that all on your own and you can't find somebody that you can outsource some of those chores and financial responsibilities like you would with a spouse. So no, being a single working woman absolutely sucks. It's the worst thing ever. I hate it. I would go back to the 1950s in a second just so I wouldn't have to deal with this shit.
Everything she is describing, she is just defining what it is like to be the average man. Welcome to our world, sweetheart. You know, I bet you she's never been on a farm or milked a cow. But the point is, the feminism narrative have lied to women. And unfortunately, they don't realize this before it's too late.
These women show up like, okay, I did. I secured the bag. I got the education. Love me. And then all the masculine men are like this. Cool story, bro.
They brag about being basic adults. Great job. You know, a real man, ladies, will not care about your money. Only broke guys will. Now, the reason why men don't care about a woman's pot of gold and your money, because you're not going to share the pot of gold with us anyways, you selfish son of a bitch. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
I'm Hispanic and I vote for Mr. Trump. We vote for Mr. Trump. Yes, Mr. Trump. We love you.
A few moments later.
Beyond betrayed. They used us. They actually, during the campaign, and I don't want to make this political, but during the campaign, the elected officials from the Republican Party, they actually told us that it was not going to touch the documented people.